Hey everybody, Dr. Uptown, welcome back to the ranch. I'm going to do fluff and buff on this Rock Island 2011 model. I got some stuff from Midway that I was going to add to it. Pierce grip sleeve and some Hogue rubber grips, and I picked up an additional 3 Chip McCormick magazines, so we'll get into those as we go. But like I say, put this stuff aside for now. I'm going to pull this in a little bit so you can see me as we're tearing down here. Like I say, what we're going to do is kind of go through this, polish up some of the parts that make contact and cause a little friction. As far as the top end goes, basically the only part that we're going to go ahead and polish up is going to be this guide rod. So we'll go ahead and get that out of here and set it aside. On the frame, I'm going to go ahead and do a detailed strip on it. The main reason for this is that there are a couple of parts in there that I want to polish up. Additionally, coming from the factory, every once in a while you'll catch a little surprise. I had one a few years ago that had been firing fine, and all of a sudden it quit, and when I got to looking at it and got the thing taken apart, had a milling chip in it that had gotten mucked up in the firing mechanism and had stopped it from firing. So that's the other idea with going ahead and doing a detailed strip on it. Okay, so we're going to do the full breakdown on this thing, and then show you what all parts we're going to buff out here. Start off with, we're going to go ahead and move the main spring housing pin. Follow that up with the Ambidextrous Safety. Now, these safeties on these Rock Islands, these ambidextrous safeties on these Rock Islands are always a bitch at first. After they're taken apart a few times, they seem to get easier, but it seems like that first time they really don't want to come apart. There we go. The left side, turn the right side up, and we'll bring it out. Brings us our sear spring. What I'm looking for on this sear spring is whether or not this leading edge on this center leaf is beveled a little bit. That one is. I think I might add a little bit more bevel to it. We'll take out the hammer. Now, oddly, the plunger spring and pins didn't come flying out. And take out the sear and disconnector pin and the respective parts. And then lastly, the mag release. And we'll see if it doesn't do too bad falling free. Alright, so as far as parts that we're going to do some polishing on, be the guide rod, the hammer, the trigger bow, the hammer, and the disconnector. What we're going to polish on the disconnector is this surface right here. That surface right there mates up with the back side of the trigger bow in this fashion, and they rub up against each other. So we're going to polish all of this trigger bow, this flat surface on the disconnector, okay, so like I say, on this disconnector, we're just going to polish this flat. The only place on this pistol that we're going to remove metal is going to be on this very back side of this disconnector right here. And the reason behind that is what can happen is this can protrude into the mag well and cause the magazine to hang up. So we'll actually take and remove just a small amount of metal on that and kind of round those edges off. The rest of it, like I say, is just going to be a matter of polishing and just giving it a mirror finish. We're going to do that on this flat on both sides of this hammer, and then on the trigger we'll do the entire trigger bow. On the guide rod we're going to do the entire guide rod. On the barrel, I'm going to go ahead and polish the finish off the barrel just because I prefer that polished look on the entire barrel. Again, it's just removing finish, it's not removing metal on the barrel. We're going to look at the angle on this sear spring just a tad and relieve it. And the last thing we're going to do is take and clean up these channels on the frame where the trigger goes in and slides in the frame, and I'll show you how to do all that. For right now though, we're going to take these few parts that we're going to polish up out in the shop, and I'll get the camera set up out there, and you can watch me do my thing out there. Alright guys, out here in the shop with their bench grinder. For those of you that have missed it in the past, this is a Carborundum buffing wheel. It does the same thing as a polishing wheel with some polishing compound like I can't remember what the stuff's called now. The red or white polishing compound with the felt buffer. All this is just a felt wheel with the compound impregnated into it, so it does polish. Now this is the medium one and not the fine one, so the medium one will take material off if you're not diligent with it. But you see this disconnector flat that we're going to polish first. Right now we'll go ahead and polish it. I'm going to show you here. You can kind of see that there's a little bit of high spot and low spot on it, and that's what we're trying to remove. We want that to be as perfectly smooth as possible. It's about as good as we're going to get it, and that's what we're looking for, is that mirror finish. What that mirror finish is going to do for us is reduce any friction at all on the part. Get the back side of that disconnector like we were talking about also. So you have to stop because these parts get pretty hot pretty quick. So. I'm going to go ahead, I'll put that down for the moment and go to another part just because that was getting hot. And we got that guide rod now polished up. Like I say, we're just polishing these things to a mirror finish. We're not actually taking any material off. And then we'll go to the hammer and see what we can do with it. Here's a good example of why we're doing this. You can see where it's started polishing off the high spots versus some of the low spots. And in polishing that up, what's going to happen is that'll all become relatively uniform. You can see here we've got a pretty good uniform finish on it. And there again, we've got that nice mirror finish on it. And again with the trigger bow, creating that nice low drag. I mean, you can just feel how smooth it is. It's just like a mirror finish. I haven't really decided if I want to polish that up or not. I think I may just go ahead and do that. That makes it look pretty sharp. Anyway, the kind of the cool thing though is if I decide I don't like it after all, then I can always go back and just hit it with some cold blue and turn it back to that nice black finish that it had on it. Gives that barrel hood a much shinier finish than it had on it. We'll go ahead and do the barrel too. And there's that barrel looking pretty good and polished. Go back and hit this disconnector again real quick. We're going to, like I say, hit it on this back side. And we're just rounding that off enough so that that stays out of the mag well. And we'll get you set back up inside again and show you what else we're going to do to it.